Hello, 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 and welcome to At All Hours. I'm your host, Greg Ramirez, and today I'm joined by a very special guest, someone whom I've known for almost 2 decades now. Jeez. Please welcome my very good friend, Jasmin. This is episode number 6. How do you feel about being on a podcast?
Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Because we've been fucking around this whole time and now you're like,
Now it's
actually
real.
recording.
Yeah. I know.
I'm like, oh no.
I know. And you're especially for me it's like weird that you like toffee coffee ice cream. I hate that, dude.
No, it's the best. It's the best ice cream ever. And it was a good milkshake too.
Where'd you have a toffee coffee milkshake?
It was an ice cream shop in LA called Milk. It doesn't exist anymore.
So it was called Milk at some point.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Unfortunate. It was actually very devastating when I found out that it was no longer.
You're like, I know you're like laughing about it, but it's actually like it kind of ruined my life.
A little bit
appreciate
at the time, especially because I have yet to find toffee coffee, man.
Like toffee coffee shakes or just toffee coffee in general, like
Toffee
stuff.
coffee in general.
Like
I'm all serious. Now.
I know you're like.
Listen.
I'm really hoping this podcast gets big so that shops across the fucking country.
Ladies and gentlemen,
please bring back toffee coffee. Is it just
and
like
then sticky toffee's also situation like I can't find it anywhere. Same situation. I mean,
that's crazy. I don't think there's anything like I don't know. I guess I'm not big on like desserts where I'm like I need to have this like certain thing, but at the same time I feel like the desserts that
it's worse when you like can't have it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
that's why
gone.
I think the desserts that I do like, they're not like hard to get to. You know, like the things that I like, they're pretty common, is what I mean. It's like,
what do you mean?
Yeah, I'll explain.
Me?
Yeah.
I have to go to London to get sticky toffee pudding.
Ugh, God, that's pretty
I'll
far.
do it, dude.
I'll do it.
I'll do
It's
it.
like a threat. I'll do it right now, dude. Don't even fucking talk to me like that. I'll fucking leave right now. What was it like being like in another country where you're like a completely different country?
I mean, I had a blast.
Was it better or worse?
Better.
How?
In every way.
Okay. She's like, how much time do you have?
How much time do you have? No, literally. Like, even just like, you know, they have the public transportation. I know we have it in New York, but it's
not
nice
the same
out there. Yeah.
I feel like anytime
They're rats also. They're smaller too, so it's like,
it's a
you
plus.
know,
Ours are huge.
Yeah.
Every time I like get on like a train, it's like I'm gonna get stabbed or attacked by someone. I got attacked by someone.
Possible too.
I've been attacked in the streets.
I recently took public transportation for like years, and it was a good time. It was a good time. It's still the same old, you know,
You're like feels
toxic
like it feels good to be
environment.
Back. Yeah. You're like, it's good to know that like I feel relatively safe, but it can also be stabbed in the throat.
Not safe at all.
Yeah, it's like one or the other.
Yeah, I made a couple friends. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I know. Making friends in like a train or a bus, you're just like, I wish we could be friends forever.
No,
but
literally.
But like, this is the last time I'm ever going to see you again.
Yeah.
That's cool. Why'd you take public transportation?
I went to WeHo Pride.
Oh, that's right. I remember seeing
So
that.
I took 2 and then from...
Nice.
So twice.
Did you make friends twice?
Yeah. I did.
Do you think you would take public transportation to get dessert, like the desserts that you want? What was it? Toffee,
No.
coffee? You would. It's not. You're like, I don't like it that much. It's like my favorite thing in the entire world.
I'll go to London.
But
I draw the line.
I'll go to London, but I'm not taking a fucking another step on that bus or train or anything like that. I'll fly to another country before I get back into public transportation. That's fucked up. Are there any other desserts that you feel like Are there any desserts or like things you've come across where you're like, I can only go to that place to get it, and like it drives you crazy?
I don't think so. But I'll never forget the first time I tried sticky toffee pudding.
Yeah, like
it was like crack. It was like crack, dude. Yeah.
Follow up. Have you tried crack?
No.
It's probably like that.
Yeah.
It's
Definitely.
crazy. It's crazy to think too. Like, I don't know what it's like to smoke crack, but this must be it.
Yes. 100%. And like the feeding of it,
You're
like that.
You wake up with like hot sweats in the middle of the night, and you're like, I need that shit, dude. I need it in my veins right now.
Yeah.
My heart's like palpitating. Where'd you have it the first time?
Disneyland.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. When?
It's so random.
Yeah, it's not.
Well, I used to work there, right? So
oh, that's right.
I would we had like these, I don't know what to call them, like little kiosk type things, and like if I would work one of them that had that, and I remember like just the smell of it too is like so enticing, and just like, oh, it's just sugar,
Yeah.
And then every now and again you would be able to like quality taste, and
damn.
yeah, dude. But every time I would like, when people would order it, and then if they would ask like, oh, like, should I do that? I'm like, that's the best one.
Yeah.
Like, do it. It was addicting for sure.
That's crazy. It was like crack then, what you would imagine. So after that, when was like the next time you think that you had it? Like just randomly, or was it like, was there like another significant time?
I took my boyfriend, and he was like, this is a shit. Like, we need to find this anywhere else besides Disneyland. And I was like, yes. And then we were able to find it, but then those places also went out of business.
It's weird. It's like a weird pattern that's
sucks,
happening.
Dude. Yeah. And like, there's a very specific kind. Like, some people can make it their own little different ways, but like, it's
weird. Is there anything else?
Be a little like, it's pudding, right? So it can be a little bit more like runny, or they use like a different texture, and
So it's like, it's also something that you saw where you're like, this is like something that you noticed and you saw like differences in, where you had it enough times to be like, oh, there's differences in like this shit, and you're like, I like it this way, but not so much this way.
I've always been like that though, but yeah.
It's fair.
I'm very like, I guess, picky. Very there's another word for it, but I can't think about it right now.
I probably can't think of it either.
Yeah.
I tried to think about it for like a second, and I was like, there's nothing going on up here right now.
Told you, me too.
Yeah. Yeah. As soon as we started talking, we were like, damn, my brain's kind of fried right now. We're like, we should sit down and fucking record everything we're going to say.
Yeah.
It's pretty rad. That's like the perfect time to do it.
This is a risk here. This could either be really funny or really just dead.
Yeah, it's high risk, high reward. So far, I think we're killing it. I
still don't understand what's happening here. The video game.
Are there any video games you've ever gotten into or wanted to get into? Because you're not like into video games much.
Well, I really like racing games. I don't know if you know that.
Yeah,
I love racing games.
You kicked our ass playing fucking Mario Kart. You're like, you guys showed up, and then you're like, I've been really into Mario Kart. And then you're like, can we play? And we're like, sure. And you're like, sign your waiver here, dude. Sign your own fucking death certificate, because that's what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, I do take a little pride in that, because
you fucking killed it.
Yeah,
it was a bloodbath that night. But
I guess like the original like Pokemon, where you can like get the capture or catch the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's a little different now, where it's like just games getting more complicated.
Yeah.
But like, are there any other racing games that you got into, or was it just Mario Kart?
No. Well, the first one was Midnight Club too.
Oh, cool. That's so sick.
That one and Crash Bandicoot, classic.
Damn.
But the Midnight Club was my shit. And they had like the last car that you would get was like a hovercraft. It was legit.
Shit.
But you can drive it for shit, but it was really cool.
It was like the worst thing in the fucking whole game, but
yeah.
It was pretty much the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I never got into fucking like racing. When I was a kid, I never played racing games apart from like Mario Kart. I played Mario Kart But like other than that, I was never into like racing games. I don't know. I was just never like big into cars growing up, and then now
I'm
my
not
car's
into
falling
cars
apart.
either, but I don't know. It's just like those are fun, you know.
Yeah.
I can't get into like shooting games because it's I don't like shooting things.
Yeah. I never got into them as much like until I tried to get into them when I was like a teenager when I was playing video games more, but like once I tried and everyone was just killing me online, I was like, I don't think I don't think this is for me. And like I don't know, I never got into like competitive games in general. Are you like competitive at all? Do you think
No,
you're not?
that came up recently with my coworker. I forgot. Yeah, with my coworker, and I was like, I'm not. I was like, I know people can be competitive, and I'm like, I'm not. I'm competitive with myself, but I'm not
Mm.
competitive with other people.
It's like
Like I'm like, here, take it.
self-loathing.
I don't care. I
Yeah.
want to try. Yeah.
Get away from me. I'm going to start crying right now.
Yeah.
If I win, I'm going to feel bad, and if I lose, I'm going to feel worse, okay? Like it's just a lose-lose situation.
Yeah. I'm not very competitive. But I mean, I like for example, when I saw Raymond get super competitive, I was like that was crazy. Like actually insane.
Playing Monopoly?
Yeah.
I know. It's weird.
Crackopoly.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird
Crack
seeing
houseopoly.
Raymond get competitive over anything. Raymond
That
is
I
crazy
think that was like my
competitive.
first time really seeing him get that way, and I was like shocked.
Yeah.
To say the least.
He's a little bastard. He's a little fucking bastard is what happens.
I thought it was hilarious. And I still bring it up to this day, until the day we die. That we sent them both to jail at the same time. I'll never forget that. When we when they went to the restroom and then we just kept rolling for them.
Yeah.
We accidentally
And
sent
like
them to jail.
it worked out for everyone else, even though like we didn't even have to cheat. It was just that it just happened that way, and we're like, oh, this looks like we're for sure cheating now.
Yeah.
That was the worst.
And then it happened again, which is wild.
It's the worst thing to be like you're sitting down with someone and you're like, oh, like I'll take your turn for you, and they're like,
Yeah.
okay, well I trust you because like
Yeah.
it's just a game, and you're like, you're not gonna do the worst thing that could happen to me, and then the worst thing happens, and you're like, how do I explain?
I lost all my money, all my property. I was gone one turn.
Yeah,
Like, what's
I
wrong
just
with
got
you?
back, and like the worst possible thing that could have happened happened. It's pretty weird,
Yeah.
pretty weird, and we're like,
Very suspicious.
it was to the point where all of us were like deliberating, like, okay, this is clearly this looks like we're lying,
Yeah.
and we weren't. It's just bad luck. But whatever, right?
Yeah, and then Erica ended up losing everything,
Yeah.
which was also horrible to see. I don't think I've ever seen anybody like fully lose
She was falling
Monopoly.
apart.
She fell apart.
She was falling
completely.
apart and was just fucking
She had like
grasping at
$2
anything.
to her name.
Yeah. She had $2 and like a fucking little dirt lot to her name, and she's like,
Same.
"Come on, guys, yeah, come on, guys, please give me something." Hey, Clementine, you want to say something?
She starts rapping.
I don't know what I would do. Oh, I think I know what I would do. I'd probably have to like throw her across the room because if she started rapping, then it would be bad. What's it been like living in your new spot?
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 words. I love it.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
What-
It's been interesting for sure, but it's nice having freedom. Freed at last.
I know, I bet.
I mean, you know a little bit.
Yeah, I know enough at least to know that it must be pretty nice to have that freedom.
Yeah.
What's it like living like I guess more in the city? Does it feel like
It's interesting, like all around, but more so because like we frequented that area a lot anyway, and so to be so close to everything is really what's the word? What's the expression? Like the highlight. It's been a highlight for sure.
Has anything changed as far as like you going out or anything like that now that you're like more in the city? Does it feel like, oh, things are like way closer or way further?
Yeah, which is a shame because I don't go out a lot. I'm very much a homebody, and
That makes
so
sense.
yeah.
Are there any spots that you go to more now that you're closer to downtown? Or I guess you're just closer to like
My
LA.
my favorite coffee shop of all time.
What is it? Give them a shout out. So when I get famous and
They're already
never.
way too popular, so
Yeah.
I don't wanna. I don't want to give them more clout. They don't need it.
Yeah.
They don't need it.
Fuck them.
But
They're rad, but fuck them.
They're the best. Yeah, and that's actually one of the things, like a huge like perk of mine is that like I live so close to it. So
Mm-hmm.
it's a blessing and a curse
Yeah.
because I'm there. Oh yeah, I'm there like at least once a week. And then now, like, there's a main girl that works there, and she knows me, and she don't have to say my name. She just knows me.
Damn.
She knows me
by
by name.
name.
Yeah.
That's fucking crazy.
It's, yeah.
I fucking love going to places like that where people know me by name.
Yeah, that's
It's
never happened
so
to me
good.
before. So it's, and to be like my favorite coffee shop ever, I'm like, I've made
It's a nice
it.
feeling. Yeah. This is what it's like to be
Yeah.
famous. Like everyone knows me now.
I'm telling you, and it's a popular spot, so I'm like, damn, I must come here often.
Yeah, I know I'm kind of a big deal. Or whatever. I don't know, just kind of throwing it out there. That's what it felt like because when I lived in Whittier, I would go to the 40 all the time. And like at the time when I was like in my early 20s, like I was there all the time. So the staff at the time like knew me already and then knew me by name. So I was there like I was actually there like 4 or 5 times a week. And I was there for like a few hours at a time.
Damn.
So it was cool because like there's times where I'd go and just go eat, or if I was just like gonna have like a couple of drinks and that's it,
Yeah.
and just kind of leave. But it was still like my first experience of being somewhere where people like I'd walk in and then they would see me and then already like treat me as if they had seen me every single day of my life.
Yeah.
They already knew me by name. They knew also like my friend group that would come in with me regularly,
Nice.
that they would sit down with us sometimes and just kind of joke around with us. And
Does this place still exist?
that's where we were at earlier.
Oh.
The 40, the 6740.
What?
Yes, it's a number.
I don't get it.
Well, see, that's the thing. If I showed up at your coffee spot, they wouldn't know me either. So
No.
that's why. I don't know.
But there's only one of them.
I don't know your coffee spot. You don't know my
Hint,
bar.
hint.
So that's the thing, you know?
But
It's a trade-off. We're known
but
at
is
our
it
own
still
places.
there?
The 40?
Yeah.
We were just there like 6 hours ago. It might, unless it's gone now. But we had dinner there.
Okay.
You're like, go on. Like, you don't believe me?
Sure.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Yeah. No, we all believe you, dude. We all believe you that we were at your
That's
bar.
still there.
That's still there. Like I was just having like an episode, and we were like, we're gonna humor him. Like, this is his old bar, right? Okay.
Yeah, this was the first time I've been in a really long time, especially now that I moved. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, the thing is, like when I hit my 20s, I think when I turned 21 ish is when I moved to Whittier.
Oh,
So-
true. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I lived in Whittier, and then where I lived, my old apartment, it was like I was like down the street from Uptown.
Yeah.
So I would
You
just
walking distance.
Yeah.
So
I would like get off work and then go to the 40 and just go drink, and like I'd just walk up to Uptown, go to a spot, eat, drink, and then walk back home.
I tripped out because like my old best friend's dad lived like down the street from you,
It was
and I would
wild.
be there like a lot. Well, not a lot, but you know,
I watched
a good
people.
amount.
I watched people get stabbed at that house a lot. There was an apartment.
See, it never felt that way where she lived,
know.
and I was just like 2 blocks away.
Dude, that whole area is pretty weird because
Like
it
he
seems
lived
pretty
by
nice.
the park. Do you remember that little park by there, by the like police area?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That like
He lived right there on Friends. You know what I'm talking about.
yeah, just to be living on like a place called Friends, and then like where I live, a couple blocks over, just people getting stabbed in the park.
Yeah. What a crazy world.
In a small world.
Small world.
Because I remember my apartment was like second floor. So from my balcony, I could see the like intersection. Because, my apartment was like on the corner too.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an intersection and they had, I think, stop signs going one way but not the other. So like there was like a 4-way intersection, but there was only stop signs that went one way. So like the other cars would just keep like driving through. So some of the cars didn't really get that. And it caused like T-bone accidents all the time.
I believe it.
So I remember being on my balcony and like smoking cigarettes and watching cars crash. And like, I don't know, Noelle, were you there at any point when that guy crashed when his little dog came out?
Oh my God.
Yeah. So there was a guy who got his car fucking wrecked. He got T-boned and he like crawled out of his car and it's like, on the sidewalk, there's like the patch of grass like near the street.
Yeah.
He's like laying on the grass on his back. Like he crawled out of his car and he's laying on his back and his dog comes out of the car. His dog's completely fine and just lays on his chest and is just like laying with him and is like happy and the guy's like dying on the floor.
What?
Yeah. And I'm just like watching everyone. I'm like, this is fucking crazy. Just
like a
smoking
movie.
cigarettes. Yeah. I remember watching there was another like apartment complex like a block over because there was like a bank right next to me.
Yeah.
And then there was another apartment complex and I remember the entire complex got raided by the fucking like SWAT team. And you just see like black trucks show up and I was like, oh shit, it's like the middle of the day.
What?
And then like black trucks just show up and a bunch like this fucking huge SWAT team comes out and they just start swarming the building. And I was like, well, I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day. And I just stood there and I was just hanging out and smoking
being
and
a
watching.
Chismoso.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I was like, what else am I going to do? This is
Yeah.
free entertainment. This is the best entertainment I could pay money for this and I'm getting it for free. And it's like 40 feet away from me.
See, just by living where we do now, like, because it's not the nicest side of the city, but it's not bad. But like, I haven't seen anything crazy yet there, thank goodness. Honestly, I'm like, I haven't heard any shotguns. And then like down the street, MacArthur Park, and then just found like a dead body in the fucking lake like last week. And I'm just like, yeah, this is crazy.
You're like, could it be me?
Could it be me?
Yeah. That's good though. I mean, as long as you're not, I feel like the less like since I moved in here, nothing's really happened too much. So, it's kind of nice not hearing like stuff in the middle of the night or like, because before when we first moved in, I was like super paranoid because of just like the neighborhoods I grew up in. I was used to shit like that.
It's Mars too, so like,
yeah,
you never know.
I'm going to censor that so no one knows where I live.
Yeah. Do it. Sorry.
It's Mars. You're going to be like
Mars.
Yeah. Like your voice changes. I'll just edit that in. You live in Mars.
Yeah. I give you full permission.
Hell yeah. But yeah, it's like living here. It's way different.
Living in Mars.
Living in Mars. It's way different. Like, especially just because like, in this neighborhood, because like neighboring cities are like way different, but living in this neighborhood particularly, there's like nothing that happens.
And
the other planets,
Almani.
Yeah.
That's
Venus.
Like, that's like danger zone for real.
Dude, Almani's so
it's
bad.
Like around the corner.
Yeah, that's where Andy grew up, and it was like. Just like she's like, oh, this happens all the time, and it's like the next block over, and then it just suddenly switches to like just fucking crazy ghettos and like trailer parks and shit.
Yeah,
it's crazy that like when I moved here, people would tell me about Garvey girls.
Okay.
Because Almani and Rosemead has Garvey running straight through it, and or Mars and Venus. Has a planet or a street that runs through it. And they would call them Garvey girls because they would.
Oh, girls.
Like, yeah.
I heard grills.
Garvey grills.
I was like, they have BBQs?
Yeah. You know, classic Garvey.
No, literally.
Garvey barbecues.
That was what I was thinking. You said girls.
Girls.
Women.
Yeah. Women. Garvey women.
Garvey women grills.
Yeah. Yeah. This is going to be so much editing. It's going to be Mars grills.
Mars
Grills. Mars and Venus girls.
We just start ad-libbing again.
Yeah. Yeah. Have you ever done karaoke?
Once. Like in a proper room? Yeah. Once.
I would be so happy to see everyone do karaoke.
Yeah, I really want to do it. I know we would have a lot of fun with alcohol and tunes. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking match made in heaven.
I've only done it once ever in my life.
You know when did you do it?
Ooh, a long time ago.
Many
Galaxy
moons
far,
ago.
far
Yeah.
away.
Back when I was just a wee lad in these new lands.
It was for a friend's 21st birthday.
Oh, nice.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. You know who's gonna get weird about karaoke?
Who?
Guess.
Raymond. What does that mean though? Like, why? What weird in what way? Like, how do you get competitive? You know, how do you get weird?
I don't know. It's pretty weird, right? Pretty weird to think about. And then when you see it happen, you're gonna be like, "Oh, that's hell."
Like you can't have fun.
Like we're just having fun, and he's like, "This isn't about
fun. You're saying it wrong."
Yeah, yeah.
You're saying it wrong.
You're actually kind of flat on that note. That's what it's gonna be.
Holy shit! I believe it.
He's gonna be like holding my diaphragm, trying to fucking. You need to get
higher.
It out higher.
Higher.
And he's gonna be like the fucking the teacher from Whiplash, who's just like.
I don't know what that is.
You've never seen Whiplash?
No. Let's play it right now.
Pull up Whiplash real quick. We're gonna watch the whole movie and take a quick break. So we'll be back at 4 a.m.
For the record, it's 2 a.m. right now.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. And we're gonna take a 2-hour break to watch the entire movie Whiplash and
come
then,
back
and
to this
and deliberate.
discuss.
Yeah. So here's our quick break.
I'm upset. Louder! I'm upset. You are a worthless, friendless, faggot-lipped little piece of shit whose mommy left daddy.
All right, what'd you think of the movie?
It was amazing.
See, everything that I said earlier too. Do you understand it now?
Yes.
Cool.
Completely. In its entirety. Full on.
Good.
I wikied it too.
Yeah.
It was so good.
You're like, IMDb says that I should have really enjoyed it.
Yes.
What do you think's scarier, horror movies or reality TV?
Horror movies, for
Why?
sure. Why? Mars.
I can hear that. It's blowing out my microphone just because I'm doing it to myself because I'm fucking stupid.
Wait, what was the question?
What do you think's scarier, reality TV or horror movies?
Horror movies, yeah.
Why?
Because reality TV is hilarious, you know what I mean? And like, you know, horror is like, it's trying to scare you. It's trying to be weird. It's, yeah.
But what about like existential horror? Like The Truman Show? That's like both of them. That's like reality TV.
Huh?
It's reality TV, but
I'm
it's
like, play it right now. We'll come back.
Pull up the movie. We'll be back at 6 a.m. All right, and we're back. So we just watched The Truman Show. It's 6 a.m. The sun's coming up.
Tired.
Yeah.
I'm losing my voice.
Yeah. Oh my God. I don't know how you get through this right now. What do you think of the movie? What do you think of The Truman Show?
It was amazing.
That's what
I
I thought too.
understood it in its entirety. I even Wikipedia it.
That's so crazy.
Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
Forever, dude. Team Jim.
Yeah, Drew Carey's something else.
Drew Carey.
Yeah, he's the one.
Jim Carrey, man.
Oh yeah, that's right. Are you a Jim Carrey fan?
I am.
I
Yeah.
love Jim Carrey.
To this day.
I grew up watching nothing but Jim Carrey movies.
I know we have that kinship of watching
Yeah.
The Mask. So
Yeah,
like all the
huge.
time.
It shaped who I am.
Yeah, me
It's
too.
it's pretty weird watching. Or is there like an old movie or like anything like that you watch back and you're like, this really shaped me into like who I am now? That's the way I feel about like Jim Carrey movies. Like when I watch The Mask and Liar Liar and like those old movies, Ace Ventura. Like when I watch those movies, it's like I see myself like recreating that shit. My mom tells me all the time too. She's like, that's all you would do is watch these movies and try to act like him.
Oh my god.
And it was like, it makes a lot of sense because like
That's
I'm
cute.
like super animated now.
Yeah.
And like I've always tried to emulate him. So it's kind of weird watching those or anything like old like Jim Carrey comedies like that. And it's like I get it and I understand it.
Yeah.
But like is
Now
there
that
anything
you say it too, I'm like, oh yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything like that you think of like an old movie or like any old like piece of media, like cartoons or a show that you watch where you're like, that really fucking shaped me into who I am?
I mean, the top of my head, I want to say, I don't know. I want to say Kill Bill, Volume 1, and I guess 2. Sure. They're all one movie, really. But, yeah.
She was still a bad motherfucker in both movies. So
Yeah.
I kind of see that where you're, like you watched it and you're like, oh shit.
Like
is what I could be.
everything that she would do, I would do, you know?
Yeah.
Or everything that she did, I would do.
Yeah. I think I just I don't know when it was. I think it was like 3 weeks ago. I rewatched the first Kill Bill and I was like, this is it. Like I forgot how like just crazy and deep the movie was.
Yeah.
Cuz
I just rewatched it like not that long ago either. Maybe like a month ago, 2 months ago. So it's also fresh in my memory.
Like I remember it being like I mean I guess it's like one of those things where you kind of remember certain parts of it or just like if it's been long enough, you're like, or for me, it was like
I'm like I watched it.
Yeah.
Marked me.
Yeah. Cuz like rewatching it, I forgot how like intense the scene was where she goes back and I don't remember her name, the like black girl, and she goes back and they're having a knife fight and then like her daughter shows
Well, her
up.
name is Vivica A. Fox, right?
Yeah,
Her
the
real name?
actress. Yeah. So they're having like the knife fight and it's like super intense and then her daughter shows up and it's like this like weird like don't do this now.
Yeah.
Like watching that
No,
now,
they weren't even talking to each other. They just
it was like just like seeing like assessing the situation and then them reacting like when she walks in they hide their knives and they're just like everything's fine.
Yeah, I love Uma Thurman's character.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So interesting. But it was like it was way different watching it now. Like I guess at the age I'm at now versus like when I first watched it where I was just like this is just like a cool movie. And like I understood the gravity of it when I watched it, but it was like I guess like having that time pass too and watching it when you're older and you're
Yeah.
like,
I've been doing that with a lot of movies lately. Like I watched Black Swan recently with Natalie Portman.
ooh.
Oh, dude, it actually was a lot. It hit a lot more now than it did before. Like, I don't know. I just never like really wrapped my head around her like losing her mind. Like, it would just felt very like theatrical before, you know, and it is, and it's meant to be because it's like the Black Swan. But now I watched it and I was like, whoa, like
It's heavy.
And yeah, and then also Darren Aronofsky, whatever the fuck his name is,
Yeah.
he knows how to write insanity, and like really well. I was like, very like I don't know. It was again one of those things where I was like watched it older, and I'm like, okay, this movie is actually really intense and deep.
Yeah, because like I haven't watched that movie in a while. But
Yeah.
like, it's I remember when I watched it, it was like I had a really like a visceral reaction to it where it was just like
I went to watch it in the theaters too. My friend was like, "Remember when we went? This was such a long time ago." I'm like, "Yeah,
definitely
sure."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Damn, I watched this movie in the theaters." Like that's when you know.
Yeah, Noel, go ahead and put up Black Swan. What? It's 8:10 now a.m. The following day.
Like dead.
Yeah. Noel, how do you feel? Yell it out.
He's
Great.
okay.
He's okay. Yeah. Yeah.
I suggest watching Black Swan again. Now that you're older and wiser.
I hate being old and wise now. They're like I kind of
I
had
don't
the
want
same
to keep
thing.
getting older and wiser personally. Like I'm fine. I'm like, okay, I'm old and wise now, but like why does it have to keep going? Like
Yeah.
that
If you
means I
had
have
to,
to live more and I'm like, oh,
if you had to choose
it's a
one, would
lot.
you rather get older or wiser?
Wiser, for sure.
So stay the age you're at, but get wiser.
Yeah, sure.
That sounds awful.
I don't want to grow old.
It's like everyone's gonna see
I
you.
saw
like,
my cat grow old, dude, and it's not fun.
Everyone's
You
gonna
start
see
shitting
you.
yourself, pissing
Okay, that's true.
yourself, and I'm like, no, I don't ever want to get to that point.
That's fair. When you put it that way, because when you're like, you're gonna piss and shit yourself. I'm like, oh well, I don't want to do that.
At the end of your life, if you get old,
I don't want to get to that point. I guess so. I feel like I'm working
start having
against
strokes and shit. I'm like, no way, man.
it. Yeah, can happen anytime. Isn't that crazy? Does it feel weird getting to like an age where you're like, I'm not old, but like, I feel.
But
old?
people perceive me as old.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. But also, like, I'm trying to embrace it at the same time.
Yeah, you're like.
Because
yeah,
I'm like, okay, I live my 20s. Like, my 30s are going pretty all right.
Yeah.
I got my first tattoo.
Yeah. Well,
So-
when my dad was 30, he had me.
Children.
Yeah, he had.
Same. My mom had me at 29.
Yeah, my dad had multiple children, and I offed them. That's a joke,
And this has
Dad.
become the origin
This is an origin story.
of Greg's villain story.
There was actually I was triplets in the womb, and I ate the other ones.
Is this facts?
Yeah.
Can I ask your mom right now?
Yeah.
I
I
call
would
her
call-
up immediately.
If it wasn't 8:13
Then
in
I
the
don't believe
morning
you.
on a Sunday, my mom's at church. It's 8:13 in the morning on a Sunday, so my mom's now
She's
at
a
church.
holy woman.
Yeah, she's
for
a holy
sure.
woman. You want to go ahead and leave her alone? We could keep her out of this, but we'll call her
Were
after.
your parents married?
Yeah,
Okay.
they were. That's what they tell me.
And so you never had siblings, huh?
I ate them in the womb. They didn't have a chance. They
But
didn't
like
stand a chance
alive
against-
ones.
Alive ones? No, because
Okay.
it's not alive until it's outside of the body.
So you're an only child through and through.
Yeah, pretty much.
I feel like that's why we get along really well. Because I was technically an only child too, but I have half
But you
siblings.
ate the. Oh. No. I thought we were gonna finish each other.
I cut them in half.
You're like, they were born. They were 6, and I cut them in half and ate
Cut
them.
them in half.
No, yeah.
But they're all old as shit. They're
Really?
older than me.
How old?
I think I have a brother that's like, he's a gay man.
Oh no.
Mormon gay man.
Oh, what? Are those allowed?
This is the origin story. My brother.
Let me tell you a little something about my brother.
And I think he's like in his mid, if not late 40s. The man is old.
Damn.
Sorry.
It's okay. You just blew out my eardrums. It's fine. Damn. I didn't know that.
So like I'm the baby,
Mhm.
but I was raised an only child through and through. It was wonderful, but also not.
Why?
Because, you wanna play with kids sometimes. You're a kid. So I'd play by myself a lot.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like different for me because I grew up with my cousins
Like
or my same
closely,
age.
right? Like living
Yeah, like-
situation.
No.
No?
When I was like a little kid,
Oh,
like
I
when I
see.
was like born, a little
Okay.
kid. I grew up with my cousin Rhea, and then who's my age. She's 3 months older than me.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, my cousin Savannah, and then a few years after that, my cousin Sierra. but I grew up around nothing but girls. And then like it wasn't constant, but it was like enough to feel like I had like like that was like the closest I had to siblings. It was like my cousins and then my uncle Steve, who's 8 years older than me.
Mhm.
So when I was like, 7, he was about like 14 or 15. So it was like close enough for him to like also be growing up with me.
Okay, yeah.
So that was like, it was like, that was my older brother. And then I had nothing but sisters growing up. So, but the thing is, it wasn't constant. So
I get that too. I mean, I wasn't like close with my cousins, but we would definitely hang out and see each other like during the holidays or birthdays, and there was always birthdays. So
yeah,
yeah.
I hated going to fucking parties growing up.
I mean, I liked it because I got to see my cousins.
That's fair. Yeah, like the thing is, I would
But
see,
you hope that your favorite cousin comes, and then they do it. You're like, yeah.
or they don't, and you're
fucking
just like
party.
stuck, and you're like,
Yeah, especially because my cousin that I was closest to, my quote unquote cousin that I was closest to, she's 5 years older than me. So at some point she became a teenager and I was not, and she stopped coming to the family parties.
damn.
Which good on her, man. Because as soon as I was a teenager, I was out too. I was like,
You're
I'm
like, I
out.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with these people.
Yeah.
Are you close with your cousins now, or any of them?
Yeah.
Especially the ones that you grew up with.
Yeah. I'm actually. It's weird because
Oh.
I'm not I don't get to see a lot of them, or I don't get to see them that much. But it's just because they have like their own families,
Okay.
and whether
Like
they're like
kids, or
no,
okay.
they don't
That's
want.
good.
As far as I know, they don't want kids because the fact that they don't have kids, they don't seem interested in having kids.
Okay.
But it's more just like they have their own lives. So it's kind of like the way I refer to like you guys is like my family.
Mhm.
It's like they have their own close knit group of friends, or like their own lives that are going on. But anytime we see each other, there's never like a missed beat. Like whenever we see each other, it's like it was like we were never away from each other.
Okay.
So
That's good.
yeah, I'm super super thankful for that because like the only ones that it's like different with is like my little cousins like Abby and Seth, because they're still growing.
Yeah.
So there's like this like difference of like understanding of like how often we see each other, or like the things we do, or like because for me growing up, like when I was a little kid, it was like if I didn't see you that often, it was like we're not as close.
Mhm.
But then when you get older, you're kind of like, even if I don't see, if you're close with someone, even if you don't see them often, you're like, you have an understanding that like you have your own life, I have my own life. That doesn't make us less close.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the way it is. Like we usually only see each other maybe 3 times a year. So like we'll see each other at like holidays, like Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We'll see each other, and then
So you don't like spend time like independently with them, just like.
usually not really, because more often than not, it's just trying to schedule
Yeah.
something,
I get that.
and then at the same time we're all really far from each other, just like
Okay.
where each of us live. And at the same time, it's kind of like once you're living your own life, you're kind of like, at least for me, it kind of feels like, even though I miss them all the time, it's like we all have the people that we hang out with like the most, or that we see the most, you know.
Mhm.
So I don't like, for me, and I know it's the same with them, it's like there's never any sort of like negativity if we don't make time to see each other. It's like we all understand, like not only are we living our own lives, but it's like if you just don't want to make time, like that's fine.
Wow, Greg,
Like, I'm
that's
not-
really healthy.
Yeah, I have a pretty healthy relationship with like my cousins.
Yeah, that's
So-
good.
Yeah, I'm pretty grateful for them. They're pretty cool bitches. Sorry.
The cousin that I'm closest to, she has her her little toxic traits, from time to time.
Yeah.
So it's not always,
It's not always great.
sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I think with my cousins, it's way different because
But it's nothing like ever serious to the point where I'm like, I can never talk to this person again, and I can do that, like, no problem with my family and anyone. But yeah, she like, trying to plan things and then like, yeah, it being a mess. Like that's happened several times.
rough.
And like I know it's not me. It's her.
Yeah. That's why like I said, anytime we try to work anything out, it's if it doesn't work out or if none of us make a plan to do anything,
Yeah.
none of us are like bitter about it.
Yeah,
just
I
kinda
definitely
like-
don't try to take it personal. I'm at the end of the day, I'm like, it's not me.
Yeah, it's not me. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
So besides
That's so cute.
Clementine, you want to say anything?
Clementine's laying on Greg's lap and she's being adorable. She's like, it's EP time, Dad.
It's like 8:30 in the morning.
She's a cat. She's been up all night. Just like us.
Yeah,
And we're cats.
a couple cats that have been up all night.
Because a cat's the only cat who knows where it's at.
Now we're going back into our round 2 of karaoke. We're doing karaoke all night.
All day.
Yeah. So besides what is it? Sticky toffee pudding? What other?
Wait, what's that?
Tell me more. I'm like, why are you?
Sugar crack?
Yeah. Just bringing it up, you're like, what are we talking? Did you just say?
Start sweating.
I'm like, oh my God, you're sweating a lot right now. You're like, shut up. I'm not sweating. You just bring up some things. Is there another dessert that you have that's like that? Or is there another food in general that gets you like
Food.
that? Yeah. Where you're just like, this is like crack.
Pesto.
Pesto, like in general?
Yeah.
I fucking love
I
pesto.
love pesto.
Pesto's so goddamn good.
Yeah.
I would kill
Like
someone
a
over
good
pesto.
especially homemade pesto.
I guess I don't have to kill someone over pesto, but I would kill someone over pesto, you know? Have you ever had that where you're like, I don't have to kill someone over it, but I would.
No, but I recently said that I would
That's
do
crazy.
that I would die for this person's information.
Oh.
Yeah. Specifically someone's birth chart.
Oh.
The celebrity's birth chart.
Reconnaissance. You're just trying to get some
I was like, I would
astrological-
die
Does-
for it. Literally.
Would you sacrifice someone else for it?
Probably. It's funny too because I told my friend and he's like, can't you just Google it? And I'm like,
Where's
you
the
don't think
fun
I
in that?
haven't tried?
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you? I didn't even respond. I just asked him what was wrong with his Shutter account.
Is that when you meet someone, how like accurate do you think you are with like predicting their sign?
Well, I had a feeling that our waiter today was an earth sign, but I didn't expect him because he was so like talkative.
Mhm.
The first one, not the,
Yeah.
the lame one.
The one that we were all talking about, and then the fucking
Yeah,
second little dork came up.
that little dork.
Yeah.
But he was the one that I was like, I get earth signs, but he was so like he's more outgoing than like I would have expected a Virgo to be. So I was like, oh, he's a Taurus, because Taurus they can be very social people for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Think when they want to be, they can turn it on.
Has there?
You're like, what?
I'm like, I don't know any of the things that you're saying.
But I want to say yes and no.
Mm-hmm.
I
Is
can
there
predict maybe 50-50.
is there a person that you can like recall where you're like you met them and you're like, oh, I definitely know their
Well,
sign, and then you're
I-
like completely wrong?
Oh, wrong?
Yeah, like 100%. Where you're like, you met someone, or both sides of it, where you're like, you met someone and you're like, I fucking nailed it, which I feel like happens more often than the opposite does.
But you can tell a lot from like a person that is a Gemini. They like very talkative and they don't stop talking. It's very apparent. And so that's how I've been able to tell them apart from the rest of the population. But
Interesting.
I'm pretty sure I've gotten people wrong. It's just, yeah.
Because like Andy's a Gemini,
Yeah.
and she's not talkative at all.
Yeah, she is.
Sometimes,
Especially when she's lit.
yeah, yeah.
See? I know.
See, you're like, I don't know about the planets in the sky, but when she's fucked up, she talks a lot. I could get behind that. I could definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
Clementine, do you have anything to add to this?
Do you know her star sign?
Clementine's?
Yeah.
I don't know. When I found her, she was stuck under a car.
You don't know what time of the month or year?
I could probably get like the month, like close to the day that I found her, and then around her age. Like it would be like an estimate probably for like the month generally, because when I found her, she was like already like I wouldn't say like an older kitten, but just like her, like she was like able to eat regular like solid food when I brought her in.
Okay.
So she wasn't like eating
like 4 months, 5 months?
maybe,
Older?
yeah, like probably about 4 months.
Okay.
So I would say somewhere around there I could probably find where I found her and then just go back 4 months. That's what I'd say, around there. But there's like a split though in like months, so for most signs,
true.
right?
But it narrows it down a bit, you know?
Yeah. It narrows it down from how many signs are there? Like
12.
Oh, that makes sense. There's 12
Legally,
months.
there's 12. Illegally, there's 13.
What are you talking about? You're like, there's
For those who know.
yeah,
No.
You're like, there's 12 of them. But between me and you, there's 13.
Just don't tell anybody.
Just don't fucking, as long as you're not a
Don't
narc,
let anybody know. Don't leak this information.
there's 13 if you guys
Mars.
want. This is at all hours.
Mars.
After Mars. This is after hours talk. It's now 11:30 in the morning.
And been up for
we've been up
78 hours.
Yes, 78 hours.
Podcasting.
Noelle, can you throw up the movie 300?
And then Kill Bill Volume 1 and 2, please.
Cool, thank you.
Doop, 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 doop.
All right, it's 5:45 p.m. now. Great.
Jasmine's left.
So Jasmine actually moved in as of 72
Part-time
hours.
employee.
Yeah, she's a part-time employee here. She basically only gets paid to sing karaoke.
She only needs to get paid this week, so she can pay for her tattoo.
Yeah, I'm gonna be.
Please
paying
sponsor her.
Yeah, I'm gonna be giving her
Sponsor
$14.
her tattoo.
So the rest of you, it's the rest of you. The rest of you.
We're going for 200, y'all.
Yeah.
200.
We're going for $2,000,
So she can do a sleeve.
so she can get her entire body tattooed. Okay, great. I think this is a pretty fucking solid podcast. Can you believe that an hour's passed already?
I believe it.
It feels like
I'm tired now.
I mean,
I'm sleepy. I'm eepy.
I actually, what I meant was,
Been
14 or
78 hours.
78 hours. Cut that in. Cut that back in. We're on Mars, and it's been 78 hours. Thanks, Jazz, for coming on. Do you want to?
Yes, thank you.
Do you want to plug anything, like an Instagram or anything, or do you not want to have anyone listen to that?
I hope that someone out there does listen. Bring back Toffee Coffee, please. Please, in the kindness of your heart.
Yeah,
Just bring it in pints, you know, like
You're
sell
like,
it
this
in like
isn't
a third party situation.
This isn't about my own Instagram. This is all about Toffee Coffee.
Toffee Coffee.
This is I did this hour-long
I
stupid
thought about
fucking
this
podcast.
earlier. I was like, said last words.
Yeah, I'm
Someone bring.
I'm like, do you want to do this
back
podcast?
from
And
the
you're like, I'm only gonna do it for one thing.
One thing only.
What is it?
Coffee toffee.
Cool.
Coffee.
Nice. All right. Thanks for being on. I guess
Thank you.
you'll probably be back on soon.
Let me know when this.
Oh hell yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.